This is Dr. Herbert Harris welcoming you to the New You for the New Year Introductory webinar. This webinar is designed to help you overcome lack of focus, procrastination, and make 2017 your year for outrageous success. I am a retired attorney, an author, a former director of the Science of Living Institute, and the CEO of the Life Skill Institute, which is a leadership and personal development company. I have been in the arena of network marketing for over 30 years and a part of the $1 million income earners in network marketing, and have spoken all over the country in churches, corporations, and universities. I've written over 8 books, and I just listed a few. How to Make Money in Music, a classic published by Arco Prentice Hall. The Golden 12 Universal Rules for Success, published by Marlowe and Company. And then we have the 12 Universal Laws of Success, which is probably our most well-known book. It's been translated into 8 languages, and there are over 800,000 copies in print. And I just share that with you just to give you a little of my background and why I'm interested and committed to helping people be what they want to be, do what they want to do, and have what they want to have. We're going to focus on 4 areas, and the reason for this webinar series is that, at the end of each year, people end up in the same place, sort of thinking about where they are. So we're going to look at where you are right now, where you would like to go, how to get there, and how to help other people achieve their goals. Every year, and we repeat this process, many of us, every year we get to the end of the year and we are unhappy about our performance the last year. And we decide that we want the next year to be better. And we make resolutions and we forget those resolutions. And most of the time, most of us end up doing the same things they did last year over and over. And the end result is that we repeat the same thing again next year. And so this webinar is very, very appropriate because our desire is to help people change that. A study was done and they said that within 30 days after the new year, a large percentage of the people have forgotten their resolutions. If they've written goals, they can't find them. And the worst thing is that when we do that, that sets up the foundation for the same thing happening this year that happened last year. And so one of the reasons for doing this webinar is that this year can be your year for outrageous success. And let me define outrageous success. Success is when you accomplish the things you set out to do. But outrageous success is when you have success beyond your wildest imagination. Years ago, one of my teachers asked me, what was my goal for income goals for the business that I was in? And I told him that I wanted to get the business to the point that I was making $100,000 a month in income. And the teacher looked at me and said, why so little? I was a bit perplexed. I said, what do you mean? He said, why not make $1 million a month? And it had never crossed my mind. In other words, I never had the consciousness of what my life would be like if I were making $1 million a month. And I'm just using money as an example, but that's what I talk about, outrageous success, success beyond your wildest imagination. Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and expecting a different result. My question is this: do you want this year to be the same as last year, to get the same results last year? And obviously, I think most of us say no. Then we have to do something differently. So, question I have for you is, did you have written goals for last year? There's a powerful spiritual principle, and it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Where you have no written goals, you fail. And so, did you have written goals for last year? If you did not, then it's no puzzle why you are where you are. Because if you had no written goals, it's a lot like this diagram. It's a lot like having no destination. You know, success is going from where you are to wherever you want to be. And so if you have no written goals, you have no destination, and it is as though you walked into the airport and said, I want to buy a ticket. And of course, the agent says, where to? And you say, I don't have a clue. Well, if you didn't have written goals, big trouble. So number one, if you want this year to be different from last year, is you must have written goals, definite goals, detailed goals. Now, on the other hand, many of us had written goals, but we did not attain them. And the question is, why? Why do people have written goals and then fail to attain them? And there are 5 reasons why people fail to attain their written goals. Number one, they quit. You know, sometimes you get started on a success journey and you have a few failures, a few disappointments, and you just throw in the towel. The second reason they fail to attain their goals is they get distracted. They let other people's challenges, they let other people's problems, they let other things pull them off the path until finally they simply lose sight of their goal. There are other people, the third reason is that people lose their vision. You know, your vision is for an appointed time. And when you've written your goals and your goals are designed to lead you to your vision and you lose that vision, and sometimes that happens because of disappointments, because of distractions, because of failures, because things don't work out in the short term. And so they just stop believing in that vision. The fourth reason that people fail to attain their goals is they lose faith in themselves. You know, you fail and you fail and you have these disappointments and they lead to discouragement. And eventually, too many of these failures and disappointments can make you doubt yourself, can make you wonder if success is there for you at all, can make you wonder if you have what it takes. The fifth reason that people fail to attain their goals is they lose faith in the process. Success is a process. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. There are physical laws and there are spiritual laws. The physical laws we tend to trust because they are generally easily verifiable quickly. In other words, like the law of gravity, if you Whether you believe it or not, if you jump out of the window, you're going to fall to the ground. The spiritual laws are just as absolute, but they operate over different time periods. And so that first law of success, the law of thought, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a person think in their heart, so are they. Earl Nightingale said, we become what we think about most of the time. So you have to believe in that process. Sometimes because of circumstances and situations, we lose faith in the process. Well, that's what this seminar is really all about. How do you make things different? So if you think about it, absolutely you're going to have written goals. But look back at last year. If you have your written goals, you have to wonder, what would your life be like if you did not quit? What would your life be like if you did not permit yourself to get distracted? If you held the course, if you steadied the pace, if you kept running the race? Where would you be if you did not lose the vision? You know, many times people get involved in a business. You'll have 4 or 5 friends get involved in a business, and they all decide that they're going to get rich within 12 months, and they start out together, but somewhere down the line, one will get distracted. One will quit. Another may lose the vision completely. But then you get there at the end of the year, and there's that one person who didn't lose the vision, who believed in themselves, who trusted the process. And wow, they have the outrageous success that all of them thought that they would have when they started out together. You know, that's a powerful concept, folks. Many times we don't see the value in something until we see the value of what could have happened. And so one of the things that I want you to do, if you do nothing else, one, to have your written goals for this year. But number 2, to do this exercise, to look at your written goals from last year and then answer these questions. And I recommend that you write the answers down. What would your life be like if you had not quit? You started out in the business together, and you had projections of where your income would be. And in 12 months, if you had not quit, maybe you would be earning $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 a month. If you had not gotten distracted, you were pursuing a degree. And if you didn't let the people pull you aside, and the guys or girls who stay up late at night, or the party going on down the hall, if you didn't get distracted, there you can see yourself marching in the commencement line. What would happen if you didn't lose the vision? That if you really saw yourself as the head of the department or in charge of an operation, and you get that feeling that people believe in you and trust you? What would happen if you didn't lose faith in yourself, and you didn't let yourself get into a relationship that was not positive, that did not help you, just because you didn't want to be alone? You lost faith in yourself. What would happen if you didn't lose faith in the process, if you did the work, followed the plan, and the results came accordingly? I'll tell you, folks, when you do that exercise, it's going to do something. I think it's going to give a whole new breath of life into what you could have done last year, but a whole new motivational platform for what you can accomplish this year. So if this year is going to be your year for outrageous success, it is imperative that we review and evaluate your performance over last year. You see, each year is a continuation of the last year. So when last year ends, this year begins. There's not a bridge, there's not a big jump, it's a continuity. And so it's imperative to review and evaluate your performance over last year. You have to know where you ended up, to know where you have to begin, to know what adjustments you need to make. When we look at that, we have to be honest with ourselves. So review and evaluate your performance last year. And when we do this, we have to do it in every area of our lives. In the personal area, what were some of the personal things we wanted to accomplish last year? Maybe we wanted to lose weight. Maybe we wanted to change our look, to create a whole new look for ourselves. Maybe we wanted to learn a new language or feel more comfortable talking to people. What are our family goals? Maybe we want to spend more time with our kids and be more involved in their lives. And so in each and every area, to review and evaluate your performance, being honest with yourself, make no excuses. You see, excuses and success are incompatible concepts. You cannot be successful and make excuses. And if you make excuses, you will not be success. Because if you make excuses, that means that somebody else can control your success. You have to be responsible. No denials. Sometimes rather than make excuses, we may deny the existence of something. When you deny the existence of the challenge, you never resolve it. You never grow through it. Sometimes when people are in sales, for example, they may talk to people and just their means of communication, their style of communication may turn people off. And so if you're in denial about that, your style of communication, then you can then eliminate your possibility for growth by saying, these people don't want to learn anything. These people don't want to become successful. They don't want to get better. They don't want to be healthier. When really and truly, it's your communication style that needs work. And no mask. You see, masks are facades that you put on to satisfy other people. We put on a mask to satisfy our job and our financial environment. We put on a mask in relationships to satisfy a spouse or a significant other. When we evaluate last year, no excuses, no denials, no mask. So now let's review your wins and your lessons from last year. Now the wins are the things that worked, your great accomplishments, the things that you're most proud of, your victories. Your lessons are the things that did not work. Your apparent failures. You never fail. Failure is just a dress rehearsal for success. Your temporary defeats and disappointments. The lessons. And so when we take the wins and the lessons, you want to take them and use what I like to think of as the Ben Franklin method. Ben Franklin was a very, very smart man. And when he had important decisions to make about changing his life and the things that he did, he used this assessment and decision-making process. And so what he would do, he would list all the victories, draw a line on the paper, a vertical line and then a horizontal line. And on the left side, write victories. On the right side, write lessons. And on the left side, he lists all the victories, all the good things that you accomplished, all the good people that you meet, all the good opportunities that came your way, everything you can think of. And then on the right side, list the lessons, the things that didn't work, the disappointments. Sometimes it may be easier to work the right side first, to list the lessons. For some reason, the losses, the lessons, the disappointments sometimes stand out much greater than the victories. But in this assessment process, as you write the victories on the left side and the lessons on the right side, be thorough and brutally honest. This document is only for your eyes and for your use. If you share it with someone, it's got to be someone that you really trust and someone who is concerned and who wants you to be successful. Once you've listed it, and take the time to do it, don't let yourself off the hook. Every time you list the victories, you say, now what else do I feel good about this year? Is there anything else that I feel good about? And then on the lessons, is there any other lesson I learned this year? Is there anything else that went wrong? Are there any other disappointments that I have not mentioned? So if there were a lot more victories than lessons, then last year was a good year. And so this year, your year for success, you continue what you're doing with refinements and improvements. You get better at what you've done before. And you create that outrageous success, that harmonic for success. When you compare the victories to the lessons, if there were a lot more lessons, then you need to make significant changes in what you're doing to create different outcomes. Now, do this process in each goal area, in your personal area, in your family area, in your employment, your professional area, your spiritual growth, your community growth, even your financial growth. In other words, once you take these different areas and analyze them and look at the lessons and the victories, a pattern will begin to develop. And out of that, you can develop your plan for success in this new year. When we do this, using this Ben Franklin method to analyze and assess and evaluate your performance last year, based on your analysis, what are you going to do differently in this year? What are you going to do in your personal goals? Are you going to become more serious about your weight loss program? Are you going to become more serious about the things you wanted to learn to improve your skills level? What are you going to do about your family? Are you going to learn to have more patience? Learn to free up more time to spend more time with your children? What are you going to do about your profession? Are you going to go for the next position in your job, or maybe it's time for you to go off and become an entrepreneur? But using your assessment of last year, make a clear list of the things that you're going to do differently in this year. I like to think of the concept of setting the sails for change. If you can imagine that you and your life are a boat on the sea of life, a sailboat. And this sailboat has, of course, sails to have it capture the wind and move. It has a rudder to steer the boat. It has an engine to move the boat when there's no wind, it has a crew that can either row with you or row against you. The sails are your attitude. You know, the same wind that blows on you as a sailboat blows on the next person as a sailboat. And so you may not be able to control the wind, but you can control your attitude towards the wind. You can control your response to it. And so your attitude is one of your most powerful assets. The set of the sails, the way that you craft your attitudes so that you can become magnetic, attracting the people to you who can help you, so that you can become magnetically enthusiastic, so that you radiate an energy that makes people, events, circumstances go your way. You know, this attitude is a powerful piece. You know, there's a young football quarterback, very talented, but when every time he scored a touchdown, he would run around the field. Some people liked it, but others it irritated them. And so he was projecting through his attitude something that in some was positive and others were negative. Your attitude has that ability to make people love you or shun you. Your rudder. This is the thing that guides your ship. The wind may move it along, but the rudder guides the ship, and the rudder is your core values. And these core values can keep us on course or slow us down. Many times our core values can be the very thing that's undermining our success. Our core values go back to our childhood, those first 5 or 6 years of our lives when our total development was entrusted to someone else. And so if we lived in an environment of love and encouragement, that could create one set of core values of courage and confidence. But if we lived in an environment of negativity, distrust, pain, criticism, it could create core values where you're protecting yourself from outside hurt, from anticipated pain. And so these same core values that maybe protected you as a child may not serve you on the sea of life towards success. And so these core values may need to be worked on so that they can be refined and adjusted and either enhanced or eliminated so that you have the proper direction to go for your goals. Your engine. The engine is a powerful piece because when the winds don't blow and the crew doesn't row, the engine is the only thing that keeps you moving. And your engine is your desire, your deep desire, your burning desire for something. And see, that is why it's so important to write your goals, because it is your desire to achieve specific goals that gives you the power to get there, that gives you the power to create that harmonic relationship between yourself and your goals that makes the world come to you and help you. Now the crew, your associates, the people you permit, operative word, permit to come onto your ship, to come into your life, to be a part of your journey. This crew can either row with you to enhance and expedite your journey, or they may row against you to slow you down. So this process that we're going through is we're putting your ship in place so that you're ready to move on to the next level, to make this year your year for outrageous success. All right, let's just take a break for a moment. Let's sit straight up. Let's take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Stretch your hands and wiggle your fingers. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. All right. Now, the 4 areas for changing your life: your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, and your associations. Let's look at your thoughts. The first law of success says, as a person thinks in their mind and feels in their heart, so it is. A person shall have whatsoever they think in their heart. As Earl Nightingale said, you become what you think about most of the time. And so for this new year to manifest in the way that you want it to manifest, and for you to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, you must have new thoughts. That second law of success says that be not conformed to this world. You don't have to stay stuck in thoughts of limitation, thoughts of lack, thoughts of jealousy. But you can be transformed by thinking new thoughts, good things, great things, possibility thinking. Lack and limitation exists only in your mind, in your thoughts. So in this year, be committed to foster and develop positive thoughts that will help you grow. The second area that we have to work in is your emotions. You know, the world, we can look at the world as a great circle, 360 degrees in circumference. To the left, there's 180 degrees of negativity, and to the right, there's 180 degrees of positivity. And so you want to foster those positive emotions. You see, our emotions are that powerful energy that can manifest in our lives. If we let that negative emotions come in, the negative emotions will literally destroy you and consume you. Our emotions can go down to that rudder and make us steer the ship in ways that we don't want it to go. Our emotions will either lift us up or they can tear us down. Emotions of fear may make you afraid to try. Emotions of distrust may make you afraid to have relationships that could be beneficial. Emotions of fear of change can make you accept status quo. You know, emotions are the engine that fire up your desire. And so if this year is going to be your year for incredible success, our emotions are going to have to really be worked with. Like the emotions of envy. Envy can keep you locked up because it always makes you distrust other people and makes you cut them out, makes you jealous. So this year can be our year for outrageous success. So we have to develop positive emotions of love, of respect, of compassion, emotions that empower us to help others. We have to look at our habits. You see, our habits, we create our habits, but then our habits create us. Many times we can have the skill set We can have the mindset. We can have the brains, the desire, but our habits of procrastination can undermine us. Our habits of disorganization can make us always appear unsophisticated, incompetent. Our habits will either make us or break us. People respond to folks who have good habits, and habits are the result of discipline. Any habit that is not productive must be replaced by a good habit, and that takes time. And finally, for this year to be outrageously successful, we have to look at the associations. Really, this is the big one. Who will you permit to come into your life and to be a part of building your dream, of accomplishing your goals? Who is your crew? We see so many instances of people who are very successful, very talented, but who drag along friends and associates from the past who can't really operate on that new level of success that they're operating on. We've seen athletes who let the people they hang out with pull them down and cost them a career or cost them millions of dollars. So choosing your associations is going to be critical for this year. If you're the smartest person in your group, then you need to get another group. And so the question arises, what will it take to make the necessary changes in your life for this year to be your year for outrageous success? It will take 6 things. It will take time. You see, everything happens over time. Everything has a season. Everything has a cycle. It says, write the vision, make it plain, that you may run that readeth it. Though it may tarry, wait for it, it will surely come to pass. In other words, your dream, every goal has a cycle of its own. As a farmer, you can be very, very hungry, but if you plant corn today, that corn will not feed your family tomorrow, no matter how hungry you are. But if you cultivate that corn and pull up the weeds and nurture it over the cycle for that corn to grow, it will feed you and your family. I'm reminded of a good friend, Dick Gregory. He was working with a man who was grossly overweight. And after about 30 days on the diet, the man looked at the amount of weight he lost and he said, you know, Dick, I don't think this thing is working. Really haven't lost that much weight. And Dick Gregory said to him, listen, you didn't put on all that weight in 30 days. And so you won't lose it in 30 days. Everything takes time. It takes time to study, which is the second key. Time and then study. Oprah Winfrey says, when I knew better, I do better. When I know more, I can do more. And so we have to study. We have to begin to read. We have to understand in our analysis what we don't know. When I started college, I went to an Ivy League school and came up from the South, and I was up against some of the top students in the country, and I found myself woefully inadequate. I felt grossly outclassed. I thought everyone there was smarter than I was, more experienced than I was. One thing I realized, I didn't read fast enough. All the courses were heavy reading courses, and so I ended up taking a course. I realized I need to study, so I took an Evelyn Woods reading dynamics course to learn how to read faster. That made all the difference. And so you have to study whatever you need to know to take you where you want to go this year. Be committed to study and get it done. It's going to take work. The only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. There's a great saying that's, how do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. How do you build a dream? Day by day. And so you have to do consistent work based on knowledge achieved through study over a period of time to create the life you want. It's going to take support. You know, once you step away from the crowd, once you step away from the people who are not going to be able to make that trip with you, they'll be there waiting when you get there. Don't worry, they're going to still love you. But once you step away from that crowd and decide that you're going to go for it, that you want to be better, that you want to do better, that you want to have more, then all of the people around you that are not supportive, you have to get away from them. Sometimes it's your friends and family. And when you start out, I can hear it now, my friends and family, oh, you're on another trip. You got involved with another one of those things. So you need to stay away from people who undermine you. You need to stay away from people who spew negativity and talk or project things that are inconsistent with where you are going. You know, it is said that your income level will be the average of the 5 people closest to you. And so you need to surround yourself with people who can validate you, who can say you're doing a good job. Hang in there. Don't be discouraged. Give it one more shot, one more blow, one more study. We will help you. Validation. And then finally, accountability. Somebody's got to hold you accountable for your success. And it's because of these things, because of these 6 things, the time, the study, the work, the support, the validation, the accountability, that we decided to offer this 8-week New You for the New Year transformational webinar. Over the last 4 years, we've done over 200 millionaire mentorship calls. We've trained and coached and mentored thousands of people just like you who want to change their lives and live their dreams. And so it is based on these years of experience that we've created this 8-week New You for the New Year seminar. We know that it takes time. You know, once you make that decision to go for it, once you've drawn that line in the sand and decide to create a new life for yourself, it takes time. It takes 21 days to make a new habit. The New You for the New Year transformational webinar is an 8-week series that meets on Thursday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. The next class will begin on February 16th and goes through April 6th. It's a study program. It's a program that you can work with our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. It's an interactive program. We're going to do interactive exercises, interactive sessions. It's a workbook. There's a workbook with exercises. You're going to have to do the exercises. You won't get the benefit if you don't do the work. It's a mastermind concept. You know, when 2 or more gathered on one accord, then the making power is among them. That ability to where 1 + 1 is more than 2. Can you imagine a group of 50 people on one accord who all say, you can do it? We honor your success. We'll help you. Study program, interactive, workshop, mastermind, and a success nurturing environment. We have a Facebook page. And when you take this webinar, you become a part of that closed Facebook page where you can interact with other people on that page and help build relationships with other people who are going the same direction that you're going. So let's look at the 8 topics covered. The first class is overcoming fear and negative beliefs. Wow. In here, we focus on the first and second laws of success. The first law, as a person thinks in their heart, so are they. And the second law, be not conformed to this world. You don't have to stay stuck in whatever the negativity you're in, but be you transformed by changing your thinking. That you can overcome fear, negative beliefs, thoughts of lack and limitation by changing your thinking and your feelings about yourself. The second week, we'll deal with attitude. Attitude determines altitude. Every successful person that I have ever met says that attitude is more important than knowledge, more important than skill. Your attitude is a form of radiation. It's a manifestation of the law of human magnetism. We often call it the law of attraction. The attitude that you send out resonates with other people, with other circumstances, with other things, and either draws them to you to help and enhance your efforts, or runs them from you to leave you alone on your own efforts. The attitude that you send out resonates with other people and with other things. When you focus on your goals and you feel that goal in your heart and you create a harmonic relationship which you send out to the world, it creates a magnetism that draws into your space the people, the resources, the situations to make it possible for you to achieve your goals. The third week, we talk about how big is your dream, the law of vision, how your dreams must be written. They must be specific, measurable, attainable, set in advance, realistic, cover a time period. Your dreams are your vision. Your dream is the vision you have of yourself. Your goals are the steps that lead you to your vision. So once we help you identify your vision and identify the steps that will lead you to it, your goals, then you can lay out a written plan to follow it, just as you have a business plan to create success in your business. We're going to show you how you can scale it up so you can dream bigger than ever before to get outrageous success. The fourth class, we talk about getting things done. The seventh law of success, the law of action, where you learn a systematic process whereby you write the list of things that you have to do on a daily basis and then set about and how to get them done so that when the rubber hits the road, it's rolling. The fifth class is, we call it solving the riddle of survival. You know, we have to all recognize the fact that you need money. You need resources. When you meet a person who's on the success journey and they don't have the resources to maintain themselves, food, clothing, and shelter, to take care of their family, then whatever they're doing, they're building a castle on sinking sand. Recognizing that you need to solve the riddle of survival, we're going to talk about ways to create wealth. The 4 principles of wealth building, how to set a budget. Without a budget, you cannot succeed. Every business has a budget. Every city, every county, because they cannot fail. So you need a budget also. The 6th class will deal with time management. Of all the gifts that you've been given by your Creator, time is the unique and most valuable one. We all have the same 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. But time management is about how you use it. The 8th law of success, the law of value, says that whatsoever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. It's a moment-to-moment projection in which you ask yourself the time question. What is the best use of my time right now when I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose? The 7th class is making a breakthrough. How to put it all together so that you can come out with that written plan, so that you'll know exactly what you want to do, what you want to be, what you want to have at the end of this year, and have an executable plan for getting there. You'll know exactly how that outrageous success is going to feel, how it's going to look, how it's going to taste, and how it's going to move. And the 8th class is only success, where we set the sails, we crank up the engine, we adjust your rudder, we put the crew on board so that smooth and beautiful is your way as you achieve your desires. Then we're going to show you how to help and benefit other people and how you can earn money for doing that. 8 weeks, folks. 8 one-hour training sessions, plus 3 live interactive group coaching sessions where you can talk and share. You get Dr. Harris's best-selling book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. We're going to give you the paperback because we want you to write in it. It's going to be your Bible. It'll be signed by me. You'll also get the ebook version so that those of you who want to read it on your computer and on your phone, you can do it in the ebook version. You get a workbook, a 73-page workbook, where we go through exercises like 12 ways to improve your self-image. You know, you become, someone once said, success is about personal growth. Your financial and success level bears directly as your level of personal growth, your self-image, how you see yourself. We'll be talking about 12 ways to improve your self-image. We'll be doing the Draw Your Dream exercise, where you'll be able to not just write it, but to draw a picture of how you would like your life to be 5 years from today. The car, the house, the people, the profession. So you get the book, you get the 12 Universal Laws of Success calendar and the workbook. The calendar is a powerful piece. Each month, it's a monthly calendar, but each month you have a success thought. January, for example, the first law of success: thoughts become things, results in accord with the nature and feeling of the thought. Your thoughts manifest in your life experiences in accord with the emotions and feelings you associate with your thoughts. Then we have a place to write your January goals, and then an affirmation for the month. I become what I think about most of the time. So you have 12 of these along with the calendar portions. You get the 12 affirmations to live by poster. As we begin to reprogram our thoughts, we have to feed our thoughts positive affirmations. The law of command says what you say is what you get. So say good things, say positive things. I have a positive self-image. I believe in myself. I define my purpose and reason for living. We're going to share the daily affirmation that says, today is the most magnificent day of my life. Health, wealth, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money come to me in great abundance. You also get over 12 hours of Millionaire Mentorship audio downloads. Each one's about a half hour long, and these audios supplement the class so you can be listening while you're driving. Overcoming procrastination, that's a biggie. Getting out of a rut. Many of us get in a rut. How do you get out of that rut? How do you change the dynamics? Making right decisions. We are where we are because of the decisions we make. and the actions we take. How big is your dream? Let's dream bigger. A dream is like a balloon. The more you blow into it, the bigger it gets. 9 rules for becoming a success. This is a recipe, folks, just like a cookbook. Time management, how to handle those precious hours, how to get more in real time than you can get in clock time. And then the principles of wealth building, the earning principle, how to maximize your income, the saving principle, how to set aside some income for the future, the spending principle, how to circulate money so that it comes back to you, the investment principle, how to make your money grow. You also get a certificate of completion, a beautiful certificate that would be signed. You can hang on your wall. You get an affiliate license just for taking the class. You get a license to market the class and receive a commission when you introduce other people to the webinars. You also get a personal interview. Now, everybody does not want to be a presenter or a trainer, but those who do, you get a personal interview with any graduate that wants to teach, and then we can get them into our Train the Trainer program so that you can start duplicating and teaching these webinars. We have found that the best size for the webinars is 25 to 50 people. And obviously, I can't do it all myself, so I'm going to train at least 50 people over this next 90 days who are going to go out and share this message with the world and get paid for doing it. We have a very lucrative program. So what does it cost? You know, successful people look at the value. Unsuccessful people look at the cost. Successful people say, how much can I make? Unsuccessful people say, how much does it cost? So the New You for the New Year webinar is a $997 webinar that we've taught before. But doing it online in the webinar fashion, we have a special introductory offer that gives basically a 60% discount. So the cost of the webinar that gets all the goodies we talked about is $397. And that's the best way to do it. But we have some payment options because we recognize that the key is to make a decision to go for it and never let money stand in your way. We have 2 installment plans. One plan, 3 payments of $150. And then the plan B, 6 payments of $85. But the most economical and the best way to take the program is to pay it in full. But if your desire is there, we have plans set up for you. At the end of the webinar, the New You for the New Year transformational webinar, you will end up with a written game plan for achieving your 2 most important goals. You will identify and confront the fears, insecurities, negative beliefs that have held you back or undermine your success. You really get an understanding for the importance and power of developing a positive attitude as a means to activate the laws of attraction and focus to help support and enhance your success efforts. In other words, take your game to a higher level. You have a written budget and a game plan to use the wealth building principles to maximize income, control spending, consistently save, and prudently invest. 5th, you get specific steps to manage your time effectively and efficiently. How to overcome procrastination, distractions, lack of focus, and a weak self-discipline. You'll also end up with that success mindset. In other words, the mindset designed to take you, that takes what you have, starting where you are, to get what you want and become the person you desire to become. Also, an accountability and support system that will continue after the webinar is completed, and a next step opportunity for those who wish to market and or teach the webinars. So just a reminder, 8 weeks, the 8-week New You for the New Year transformational webinar meets Thursday nights, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. It starts on Thursday, February 16th, and it goes through April 6th. You can register now by going to newuforthenewyear.com/join. That's https://newuforthenewyear.com/join. Or you can send an email directly to me, Dr. Herbert Harris at LifeSkill, LIFESKILL, at earthlink.net. That's LifeSkill at earthlink.net, and we'll forward that link to you right away. So, my friends, thank you for your time. Happy New You. The best is yet to come.